rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Susie, roll call.
Councilmember Groves.
Here.
Councilmember Chambers.
I am here.
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Here.
Councilmember Barkus.
Here.
And Mayor DeVore.
Here. Motion to approve the consent agenda for this evening.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Any discussion or changes? Sue?
Councilmember Groves.
Yes.
Mayor DeVore.
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Yes.
Councilmember Barkus.
Yes.
And Councilmember Chambers.
Yes. Public comment.
Hello, my name is Paula Patterson. My address is 906 East Main Street. I just wanted to speak a little bit about, I'm the president of Lowell Pride. I wanted to speak a little bit about the event on Saturday. So I do want to start by expressing our gratitude for your continued support of Lowell Pride and our annual event. Your backing is vital to the success and growth of our community. I'm pleased to report on the recent accomplishments and developments within the Lowell Pride Festival. This past year has been particularly significant for me as it marked my first year as president. So during that time, our board has worked diligently to navigate through various challenges and achieve some substantial improvements. So changes we were able to make for the festival this year, we were able to introduce multiple food trucks. So we had 4 different food truck vendor options. We were able to do that and also have less waste and trash at the end of the night as well, which was nice. We had more musicians this year than ever before, more vendors as well. We set up a photo booth. We had multiple community art projects and just community projects going on for all attendees. We put together yard signs, distributed flyers across the community and at the event. We were also able to meet with the city multiple times prior to the event as well and have a lot of really good conversation about any changes, festival details, security improvements. We did make a lot of security improvements this past year. So we did that in collaboration with FOLA's Field Operations and Logistics Agency. They also coordinated with all local police as well. So they did a really amazing job coordinating with the law enforcement. They also worked with all of the EMTs on site too, which I think was really great for us to have that to be able to lean on. That was all kind of despite some challenges posed by the protesters who did kind of show up to harass and sort of disrupt the events that we were putting on and be disrespectful. I do feel that our attendees did show exemplary cooperation. They listened to security instructions. They also listened to announcements from the stage on, sort of our protester protocol that consistently happened throughout the day. And really helped to ensure a safe and positive experience for everyone. It was still disappointing that, we're there spreading a message of love and acceptance. We even created their protesters had their own sort of designated space where they could be. And we still found situations in which they were pushing literature on children even when parents asked them, not to, and, to back up and keep space. They didn't really cooperate with that very much. It was also kind of disappointing to continue to create that safe space when we had instances of them trying to search bags of event goers as they were leaving and harass them as they were exiting the event. I do feel like, and the board feels like their actions in general are the reflection of a small group of individuals in the community, and it's sort of unfortunate. It helps to maintain that divide that we see in the LGBTQIA plus community and religious organizations. So just taking an opportunity to kind of highlight the fact that Lowell Pride has been proud to work closely with First Congregational UCC of Lowell on a regular basis. We also were able to work with Lowell United Methodist. They supported us by sponsoring all of our flyers and all the packets and everything that was printed for the event. And we also had the Community Church of Ada that was out in full support, noting that the day was full of joy. They felt fully alive at our event and said that we made the air in Lowell sparkle on Saturday. So all in all, we do feel like it was a very successful event. You know, the point of the event is continue, you know, the efforts of having inclusivity to keep it to be a positive event. I do feel like we were able to achieve that overall this year. We also do show that we have sort of record attendance this year, closer to like 4,000 attendees. So it was pretty packed all day long, up and down the sidewalk. It was full pretty much up until like 4 o'clock when it started to drizzle. We kind of got rained out towards the end and everybody kind of packed up, but it was pretty constant throughout the day. So we're definitely working to just, you know, physically recover from the event. But we'll soon be planning kind of our next sort of big event. So I want to say thank you for your ongoing support, the opportunity to share these updates with you. I do think that partnership with the city is crucial to our mission in promoting inclusivity, equality, and support for the LGBTQIA+ community in Lowell. So we do look forward to continuing that collaboration and the positive impact that we can have on the community there.
Cool. Hey, thank you. Mr. Kent.
Dennis Kent, 1700 Faith Drive, Lowell. I just have a question about something we received in the mail. I assume a lot of people probably received it, indicating it comes on city letterhead, so you're under the impression it came from the city. It's from HydroCorp, I forgot the brand with me, HydroCorp or something like that, saying they need to inspect the house for cross connections, inspect the water line for cross connection, and then at the end they kind of imply, I don't know, more than imply, if you don't do this, you're subject to some level of legal action. My wife called, and they indicated that the letter was not from the city, that they sent it using city letterhead. And they said in the letter that the appointments are available between 8 and 4, Monday through Friday. I'll narrow it down. They're in Lowell 2 days this month. And I don't know, I just want to make sure this is legitimate, and that maybe it's,
Rich can answer it.
maybe they could have been a little smoother in their delivery.
Yeah, I appreciate the feedback. So that is a legitimate company working for the city doing cross connection inspections. What they're looking for is points where bacteria can enter the water system, contaminate the water system. And so they are our vendor, and they do need to make appointments to come in to do those inspections. Things they're looking for are cross connections such as water heater, the laundry tub, the whole spigot irrigation system. So some of those things, but also your service line, you also check out the service line material type for us. So they're doing a number of things for us, and I understand the letter comes off as terse, but really they're quoting what's in the ordinance, and the ordinance isn't exactly made to be, I don't know how you want to put it. It's not a very soft approach on the ordinance side of it, but there are penalties involved if you don't follow through with compliance. And they'll work with you too. If you can't make one of those dates, then you can ask for an extension, or we can try to figure out some other way to get your inspection done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it seems like every year, Dennis, Harry did it last year, basically word for word what you said. So it's been ongoing for quite a while. I've got it at my house, and then if I own a business here, I got it, same letterhead there, so. I think it's a good thing. They're trying to make sure our water system stays safe, but I believe you're right. They could do it a little kinder.
Rich, approximately how many percentage of the residents get that letter? I don't think I've ever seen one in my house yet, so.
Eric, didn't you get one a couple months ago?
I did. I've received 3 of them in the last year, and then when they came up for approval or financing early this year, I asked that they not send out the shut-off notices. So I'm kind of surprised you didn't get a shut-off notice letter. And I had to call the office and tell them that yes, I had scheduled and that I shouldn't be shut off. So hopefully they're making some improvements, like Rich said, not sending out shut-off notices when people have already scheduled.
Yeah, shut off would be like the final step. So, of course, protecting the public water supply is our priority here. So we want to get the people who do not want to comply. And so we'll be a little softer on that side of things. I'll work with Private Corp. And I think we did put a copy of that letter in the packet when we brought it to City Council. So there were examples of the letter in the packet. But I think it's just catching the community by surprise again because of how short the language is in there. And to Jim's question, I don't know how many went out. I can find out for you. Let you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't everybody that received it this time.
No.
Isn't it like 10, isn't it like 20% of the customers every year or something like that?
Oh, maybe I'm even.
Yeah, I never got an exact count.
Okay.
Perry Beecham, 924 Riverside Drive. Couple things. First, I appreciate the city getting letters out to occupants, residents in the Riverside Drive area. And I talked to Mike about this, and I talked to Rich. And that meeting is 5:30 before the next council meeting. What I am going to say is with that, I really think that we should have a engineer study on that with a engineer that deals with traffic flow alongside the input of the citizens, because I believe that there's consequences in what we do. And I certainly want to see the speed on Riverside Drive slow down, but there's a lot of other things that I think need to be looked at in this whole project. One is, and we talked about it, like there's trash for the trash areas for a couple of the businesses there that literally are pointed in the wrong direction. So if it's a one-way street, trucks have to go the wrong way on the street to get to them, to unload them. And there's many different things that I think us as citizens just aren't gonna, have every little nuance. An example of, the state said, you put turn lanes in down at Hudson, you're gonna have issues with traffic. And I'm right along with everybody. I kind of poo-hooed that and said, we need that left turn lane. Well, now you're seeing what they said would happen. You're seeing traffic backups on Main Street, going a long distance, and also on Hudson, and especially when we're talking about this, you need to consider, this summer, putting some temporary things in. I think you're not going to get the full effect because you're not in school. I mean, and when my wife and Diane Lowell walk, I mean, they see the traffic's, they're backed up all the way to the 900 block. So there's consequences in what we do, and I just think it'd be prudent to have a engineer look at it. Might not be what we do, but I think do that, because what we're seeing now, we're seeing an influx of traffic on Riverside because of when it's backed up going westbound and people want to get out, they're going, well, I'll just get on Riverside and zip up. And I know that you put the radar gun machine out there today without it flashing, so you'll get probably more of an accurate what people are doing. So that's just my suggestion. I know we don't want to pay extra money and everything, but I think it would be a prudent thing to do. The other is, quickly, is the Pride event. I think it's great that the City Council allows that, has that event, and I just, so sad that there's so many people that are so narrow-minded. And you know, if they came and, I don't know why they're trying to drown, one group trying to drown out another group, and I don't, you know, yeah, it's public, but again, this is public here. We have 5 minutes to speak. If somebody came in and disrupted this, I'm sure that Chris and his group would be escorting people out of this meeting. I view it, it's the same thing up there. They rent that facility for that day. That's their facility for that day, and for people to come in and disrupt it, it's wrong. I've said, you know, we should all go to their open church on Sunday and go in and scream and holler. And at that, I would not do that because I have more respect for myself and the groups. I have no respect for them because of being so narrow-minded. Thank you.
100% agree with you. Thanks, Barry. Anybody else? Full business, Gold Star Community Dedication, Michael Burns.
Yes, since our last council action, I've reached back out to the Lowell Showboat Garden Club, and we've had some discussions, and they're here to update you as to what they would like to do. And at this point in time, I've had no issues with what they want to do. Basically, block off a couple parking spaces on Main Street, you know, to allow them to have the activity on the sidewalk. So feel free to go ahead.
Did you have any questions for us, or should we just kind of tell you what we're going to do? We've done it before in 2012, and we have a new Blue Star memorial byway marker to be below the this was our, I just wanted to show you a picture kind of what it was in 2012. And it's going to be kind of just like this. This is a big thing for us. And it's a big thing for the city because these markers actually will belong to the city. We'll be donating them at the ceremony, and we hope you'll all come because you'll get an invitation very soon. It's the Blue Star is going to be below the Gold Star because, and I hopefully all of you will know what the Gold Star and the Blue Star means. Blue Star means someone who came home from war. Gold Star means someone who did not come home from war. We'll have Gold Star mothers and Blue Star mothers there. Estelle Quiggle, longtime Lowell resident, born here, is going to be our president next year. So this year, this month, she's going to be the president. So she's going to be involved very heavily with the organization of this, and has been with this. I had just wanted to, say that I've talked to Chief about, and Rick about the parking. We're only going to take those 5 parking spots, and we'll only be on the sidewalk, and we'll have both sides of where the memorial is going to be. We're going to clean it out a little bit, and have some flowers, and it'll look all decorated and pretty. So, like I say, it was very pretty then, and it will be that, and we'll do exactly what we did at this session. So, please tell, would you like to speak?
I do have a question about, I think she spoke with you, Carol did, about having the fence removed so we're able to access that. I don't know if you have a timing that's going to happen.
We can get it done.
Okay. I mean, we really only have about a 2-week turn. 2 weeks is about what it's going to take. Get this down and get those both mounted and everything, and then, so it's not like a rush, but that will be something we'll have to do, so we don't have to haul it over the fence.
We'll be happy to get it for you.
Okay, awesome. I don't think I have anything else. You guys all know where this is, right? If anybody hasn't visited it, it's right over here by the showboat at the end. You can see the current Blue Star marker. And then come for the unveiling on the 27th.
Yeah, July 27th. Thomas Albert, Senator Thomas Albert will be our guest speaker. And we're very excited.
Did you say there would be two dedications, one for the new Blue Star and then one for the Gold Star, so there'll be two dedications that
There
particular
will
day?
be, and they'll both be separate.
Right.
So the Blue Star will be done first because it's in a rededication. And it says that on the new one, we got a new one, it says it's going to be rededicated. And then the Gold Star goes above it, it will be done second. And totally, the band will play in between, it'll just be two sort of separate ceremonies. Yeah. Yeah. And Estelle's going to give it to you, to the city. And it's a great honor for us to do this.
Any questions?
Yeah, when this first came to us, nobody from your organization was here. We were under the understanding that you wanted the parking spots to fill with people, and we have to understand that when we denied that, it was because it is M21. We have to make everybody safe, and there was no way for us to make that a safe zone. Now that you came back and basically just want the spots blocked off, nobody can park there, I feel a lot better about that, and I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah. It was no problem the last time we did it. We did it exactly the same way. If somebody wants to walk by the sidewalk, even, they can go that way. We don't want to block traffic or anything, no. We do it very safely. Anybody there the last time, 12 years ago? No? This is exciting. So, thank you. Any more questions?
No? All right.
Thank you.
We'll look for a motion then to approve the parking spot closures for the Gold Star dedication.
I will make that motion.
And I'll support it.
You did it. Any other discussion? Sue?
Oh, sorry.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
Councilmember Barkus,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
and Councilmember Groves.
Yes.
All right. Chief Velzin, Fire Department update, quarterly updates.
All right, good evening. So, the intention going forward, I've been fire chief now 90 days. So, I've been 90 days in, kind of hey, where are we at, where are things going? My intention going forward is to attempt to deliver kind of a quarterly report to each one of the municipalities that we are covering in their district, between Virginia's Township, the city here, and Lowell Township. So, this is a bit of a bridge kind of covering from, essentially, as I said, from the first of the year till now, about 5 months, just kind of covering the intern process of when I was there up until kind of 90 days in here, where we are at. I don't want to talk forever because Mike knows I'll talk for a long time here, and when I get excited about things, it goes for a little bit. But I essentially looked at our department and divided it into essentially 4 different categories of our response and how we handle our responses, our training standpoint of stuff, our prevention, community wellness, and as well then our support services. So I'll go through each one of these categories, kind of deliberate, hey, this is what we've done, this is where we're at over the past 5 months. And from our response terms, I looked at this more for the city basis, kind of just, hey, what have we done in the city, where are we at? Since the beginning of the year, the fire department has responded to over 172 calls in the city of Lowell here. Compared to last year during that time, that was 198. So one might say, hey, we're a little bit less than what we may have been. But our call volume overall as a department, as of today, we are 50 calls over where we were last year. So there's some balances that happen, ebb and flow of the response jurisdictions where we end up. But amongst that time in the city here, 62% of our calls were for medical emergencies, 13 of those were dispatched, canceled, en route, 19 were for wires down, 6 calls for alarm systems going off, and of course then 12 calls for various assists to agencies, whether it have been PD or citizen assist in some sort of manner, and then 3 calls for motor vehicle accidents. There always tends to be a few less motor vehicle accidents in the city. Traffic isn't going as high rate of speed as it may be out in the township. So that's just one category that we always see a smaller amount in the city with. From a training standpoint, this is one that is just kind of always in my wheelhouse. Love the training standpoint. For the first 5 months of the year, the department trained in over 950 hours overall as a department. And that's a lot. That's an average of about 6 hours of training each month for individuals. That's my benchmark I look at entirely for the departments. When I look at over a 3-year period, I'm looking for everyone to get to about 240 hours of training that is an average of about 6 hours a month. So for paid on-call individuals, that's a lot of extra time that they're spending at the department, and really a dedicated event. And some of the events we did during that time frame since the beginning of the year, we did have a donated house to us that was out in one of the townships. We were able to train it multiple different times. We eventually culminated with a live burn in that facility where we burned the house down. So that was an awesome event where we got to practice hose line advancement, search and rescue, firefighter bailout, engine pumping. I mean, a variety of setup and stuff that happens in those types of environments. We also then completed our normal, what we do every year is our electrical safety, building construction, hazmat. Those are stuff that big safety items based upon firefighter injuries. That's something that we train on every year because notoriously hazmat incidents, electrical safety, building construction, knowing your area, knowing the types of stuff you're dealing with can lead to firefighter injuries. So one of the other things we sponsored then is we did a field burn out in one of the townships. And as really it becomes one of those things, you talk about the urban sprawl into the development of the woods, of the wildland, that does happen. So we've really looked at that, analyzed that, because it can happen here even in the city as well. It's one of those that it's a good practice. We invite our mutual aid partners between, I think we got Baum Township out there to come down, Alto to come down, as well as Ada came out, Cannon, Grattan. So that was an awesome event that we got to have with that. One of the other events that the department took place was a live burn facility out in Thornapple's live burn facility. We sent one half our department out there to participate in 2 days of live burn of rescue, firefighter rescue, as well as civilian rescue in a burn facility. So awesome event there. Again, that was with mutual aid department, Cascade Fire Department, Caledonia, and Grand Rapids Airport. So it was another event that we really participated with the neighbors in. So we always round out then the other part of it, like I said, back at our response, medical response, where we train in medical. So we always try to say every quarter we like to have a medical credit in there. We sponsor that at Department 2. We had 2 of those where we had at least 8 different hours for at each time to sponsor medical training. From our community prevention and wellness side of things, the department, we did get a new shipment of smoke detectors from the state. That is something we do offer to the citizens of our community as our response area. If you need a smoke detector in your house, please come get with us. They are free from the state. We'll come out and install them for you. We were able to get out to 19 different locations in the last month, so that was exciting just to get smoke detectors installed. They do save lives. Statistics are there. They do make a difference. So get a smoke detector, get them in your house, get them working. We did sponsor the annual pancake breakfast. We had well over 400 guests come to the breakfast, most we've ever had, so it was very exciting. It was great to see the community come out. Great event down there. We did have the Sunrise Breakfast Club at the station. That was an awesome event. Great again through the chamber. For those that came out, that was a good event that morning. But otherwise, what else are we doing? Community wellness. We had first aid for Girl Scouts come down there. Taught them first aid, a couple different classes that took place. As springtime comes around, classrooms always come and visit the fire station. So we had well over 200 kids, probably came to the other police station and whatnot as well. So kids coming to the fire department, giving us a snapshot of who we are, what we are, firefighter safety. Wonderful event to have the kids come out, see the truck, see the firefighters, get to know us. And of course, then always our support services. We look at that from our fleet, our equipment, our gear. What are we doing? We were able to receive over 18 sets of turnout gear. Community Fund was able to help out with that. We received that about January, February. Got that all distributed out to the team members, which for some of them, they were excited to just, I think we had a couple individuals that have been in the department for over 10 years, never received a new set of turnout gear. So that's always just one of those, hey, when you finally get something that's sized to you, fits to you, that's exciting. A personal part of that. One of our medical trucks, Medic 2, we finally licensed that, got that added to the fleet. Engine 1 has had some warranty work and stuff done to it. Again, Engine 2, Engine 3, we've again had repairs. This is just a constant as we have with any fleet, any mechanical breakdowns. We attempt to fix what we can, where we can. We have very talented individuals in the department where they can fix it stuff and help us out a little bit. As far as our facility-wise, again, it's a dated facility. It's starting to age and it does need the wear and tear and replacement parts. So we've done what we can to, again, utilize some of our talent in-house. When you have paid-on-call members, people that are experienced in different aspects that can help to repair things throughout the building, really allows things to be done a little bit cheaper and economically. But really, at this point in time, what are we doing going forward? We're looking towards them possibly hiring maybe later this summer, later this fall. So we're going to accept applications. Anybody that's looking to join the fire department, that's one of those side of things that we're looking to take care of. So that's a snapshot. That's a snapshot of who we are, what we've done really for the last 5 months, not as much as quarter, but 5 months. Fiscally wise, I know last time I wasn't able to make the meeting last time. Again, we came back to the council here and we asked for some funds, increased funds to finish out our budget year. Unfortunately, that is just one of those things that as the year went along, we found we're running short in a few different areas with our personnel, our equipment repairs and things that have happened. So again, we appreciate the support of the council, where we're at. Any questions?
I have one. I really appreciate everything that you said here tonight, but moving forward, I think your budget for 2024 just started, correct?
Budget year will start July 1st.
July
So
1st.
we are,
So after 90 days, when you come back and give us your next quarter, can you let me know how you're doing on your overall budget throughout that so that we can be prepared in case you have some more
Absolutely.
shortfalls?
Yeah,
I
that's-
appreciate that.
yep.
I have a couple concerns. This weekend, you guys were extremely busy at the firehouse.
Yes.
We had Pride event going on, and I noticed we have certain vehicles that are in excess of 55 miles an hour going down our main street. My father was 28 years with the Grant Fire Department. I know they're supposed to not exceed 10 over. My greatest fear is those individuals that are doing this, somebody's going to step out because of these.
Yep.
So I would ask, well, I appreciate everything they do and I understand they want to get to it as fast as possible, but I would like to see them slow down on our main street.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. We can get that concern to the team about that.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
You said a couple.
No.
Yes,
Oh,
you did.
I did.
Find something else, right?
Oh, can we put chrome rims on the new truck?
No.
That does not fit in the budget she was talking
Thank
about.
you. Thank you.
The budget was great until Chrome
Yeah.
wheels. So
Any
we're
other
unfortunate.
realistic questions for Corey?
I'll get him some chrome paint.
No, there's already paint on there that should be. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I feel like sometimes you said, but it's fine.
I do it purposely.
Foreman engineering, Mike.
Yep, the city received $385,000 from MDOT's Small Urban Program for mill and overlay resurfacing of Foreman Street from G Drive to Beach. The city is required to commit 20% of the project costs, not including engineering, toward the project. As you're probably aware, the city only can receive MDOT funding through this program for Bowes, G, Foreman, Monroe, and Jefferson, as they are the federally eligible roads in our city network. The city has budgeted the match for this project in the upcoming budget in the Major Street Fund. Attached is an engineering proposal for the project. Williams & Works have provided an estimate for design engineering for $20,600 for their services. This project will be bid as an MDOT project and will have to follow all of their rules and regulations. I'm recommending the Lowell City Council approve the engineering proposal for Foreman Street at a cost not to exceed $20,600. We'd like to get this project obligated before the state fiscal year. Then we can do this project either spring, summer, or next year.
Any questions? Motion to approve the foreman engineer.
I'll make that motion.
Discussion. Sue?
Councilmember Salzweedl?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers?
Yes.
Councilmember Groves?
Yes.
And Mayor DeBoer?
Yes. Chief, River Trail Triathlon.
River tail.
Like, what do you?
There's a memo in your packet. On June 15th, the Grant English spot, can't remember how to say his name. Is he here?
Close enough.
I say it right?
Close enough.
Okay. We'll be hosting another River Trail Triathlon, which will include the kayaks, the running, and the bikes. We're requesting that the city of Lowell allow us to close off all the parking from the Riverwalk Plaza west to Riverside to create a bike lane. The bikes will start at the Riverwalk, come out across the sidewalk, go down the bike lane, and head north out of town. We're also going to be we'd like to place a cruiser at Hudson and Foreman to get bikes across Hudson Street so they can get to the bike trail down on Foreman by the middle school. And we're gonna close off, we'd like to close off eastbound traffic on Hunt Street from Hudson Street, and then northbound traffic on Riverside, north of Hunt Street, if that makes sense. And we'll do that with a barricade at Hudson and a cruiser at Riverside to keep any traffic. So the bikes, because some of the bikes will continue north on Riverside, some will peel off and go down Foreman. That way it will keep any traffic that's trailing them, keep them safe till they get out of town. Once they get out of town, they're out of our hands. So we're asking to close off the parking on Main Street here and to allow us to close off Hunt Street, just eastbound traffic on Hunt Street, and then northbound traffic on Riverside from Hunt Street. If that makes sense.
So you would eliminate that parking on Riverside too, the diagonal parking in front of?
No,
Easy Street?
no, they won't be
No?
going down, they won't be going, no, we won't be eliminating that. Just the
Okay.
parking along Main Street, just to create a bike lane, because that way if we keep the sidewalk open, we'll close off the parking spaces and we'll comb that and barricade it with tape. So the bikes will come out, go down that lane, turn north on Riverside. Then someone will peel out with Foreman and need to cross Hudson, we'll cruise there to keep traffic, at bay. And then barricade and cruiser at Hunt Street and Riverside to keep any eastbound, northbound traffic away from the bikes.
This is almost what we did last year, right?
It's close, but not quite yet.
So you're growing it a little bigger, right?
Yes, and I'm trying to keep off M21 as much as possible, because last year we had a crossing at Bose and M21 by Walgreens, so that's where it's 45 mile an hour, and that's probably not safe.
Yeah.
So keeping away from that intersection and making them go north instead.
Derek?
So are they going up Riverside Drive?
Yeah.
So I'm just suggesting that you send out notices to the people that live on Riverside, so that I don't park my trailer on Riverside that day or keep a lane open type of situation.
And I believe last year I went around with postcards on Riverside and dropped them off the doorstep, so.
I mean, it's a great event, just want to make sure it's the best event possible for you.
Appreciate it.
And the other thing, Chief, I noticed when we do events and we close the parking lot along, especially for parades, we always end up with cars parked there. Maybe it would be wise to
Yes, we're gonna
do
go
that
out,
very early in the morning before the sun comes
and
up.
we're gonna go out and knock on doors too, say, look, don't park here overnight, and then put notes, or give notes to the businesses to remind them, so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And it's not like it's closed that long, right?
No.
As soon as
No,
the
it'll be
lights are
closed
done,
in the
you
morning.
reopen
Yeah.
it, right?
Yep.
Probably by 11 o'clock, and then we open back up, something like
Yeah.
that.
All right, motion then to approve the road closure request.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support as long as Leah's gonna participate.
I am not this year. Sorry about
I
it.
changed the running course for you.
Thanks so much.
Would you like to withdraw your support?
No,
or are you gonna leave it there?
Yeah.
She
Okay.
can't make it.
Jim, I'll do it if you do it.
I'll show up, I'm not saying that we can beat it, but I'll show up.
I'll do it if I can put my mini bike in it.
All right, before this goes off the rails. Susie?
Councilmember Barkus,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzgill.
Yes.
Deborah, street resurfacing. Rich?
All right, Deborah Street here in the city of Lowell, which is right off of Valley Vista, is a poor quality road with a large number of pothole patches that make traffic work very difficult. We recently received several complaints about the quality of the road. Even after placing 6 tons of hot mix asphalt, it still didn't really fix much, it just covered the largest patches. So the city manager requested that we get a quote to completely resurface the public portion of Deborah. Just so you may not know, only a portion of Deborah is public, the rest is private.
Bless you.
So we solicited a quote to properly mill 1 1/2 inches of the existing asphalt and resurface approximately 300 linear feet of the public portion of the road, and then replace it with 1/2 inches of new asphalt. And the asphalt provided a quote of $10,700. And we do have funding available in the current budget in our local street fund capital outlay. And so with that, I'm recommending City Council approve funds in the amount not to exceed $10,700 to resurface the public portion of Deborah Street and award the work to LT's Asphalt and Alpine Machine.
Just a couple things. The We had about a $20,000 savings in winter maintenance this year that was budgeted, so there's savings just from that in order to do this. This is such a small stretch of road, it'd be nice to,
But it's bad.
it's bad, it's really nice to,
Checks it off our list.
yeah, it gets it off the list.
And if that much hot patch didn't,
Did nothing.
let's just get it
So
out
waste.
and get brand new put down. Because what was the cost for that much?
We got very, very lucky. It cost us, I don't want to say, because the vendor gave us a really good deal. It was $4,000.
It was dirt cheap.
Alright. Any other questions for Rich?
Nope.
Motion to approve the quote for LP asphalt.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Discussion. Sue?
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
and Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
All right, one more, Mike, DOT authorization.
Yeah, MDOT routinely enters into contracts with local municipalities to reimburse the labor and material expenses incurred by the municipality for maintenance activities performed on the trunk line, M21. Examples of routine expenses include snow removal, pavement marking, joint crack filling, tree removal, street sweeping. MDOT has established a budget of $15,000 that is available for reimbursement of qualified expenses. MDOT has found that contracting with the municipality for the maintenance of the trunk line highways and bridges is efficient and in the best public interest. The current contract is up for renewal on October 1, 2024, and will be a 5-year contract. The exact terms of the contract are not yet determined. However, MDOT is seeking a resolution from the city council to approve the city manager to negotiate terms of the contract and authorize the contract on behalf of the city. MDOT provides a letter of understanding which will outline the number and type of maintenance activities to be under the contract. The attached resolution is requesting the city council authorize the city manager to negotiate the terms and conditions of the maintenance contract with MDOT. I'm recommending City Council approve Resolution 1224 and give the city manager the authority to negotiate and sign the Michigan Department of Transportation State Trunk Line Maintenance Contract with the City of Lowell. Rich, this is because I'm the street administrator, correct?
Yes, and the chief administrative officer.
But it's no change, right? It's just something we have to do every time the
Correct.
contract. It's easy enough. Any questions for Mike?
I have, no, that's nothing major. Is the 15,000 annual that they give us, or is that over the 5 years?
It's annual.
And do we have an estimate of what our cost has been over the last 5 years, so that when Mike goes to negotiate, he can negotiate up if we have to? I can't believe it's 5,000, there's gotta be some escalation costs occur as we incur costs too, so I'm not sure we should look at the negotiations.
I will tell you, we have probably left money on the table.
Correct.
Okay.
Over the past few years, because we can charge up very many things for the state trunk line. We probably haven't been doing that as well as we could be. So I think our latest one was about $8,000 that we used. So if we really start charging off properly, we can shift $15,000 worth of expenses over that MDOT contract and actually realize the savings for ourselves.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
All right, any other questions? Motion to approve Resolution 1224.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support. Discussion. Sue?
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
All right, Board and Commission reports. Eric Curtis.
I've got a couple of good news. This is for the Lara Trail. We have, since the last meeting, the team has worked closely with Eagle, which is the new DNR, and also the Reagan property. This map is north is to the left, and the river is running vertically on the right side, so it's a little bit different. But this is a compromise that all the parties have agreed to, that we are anxious to get started building. And so it starts in the lower left corner. It starts at the new township bridge, the large bridge there. And then the plan is to build an elevated boardwalk, which is the tan color. That elevated boardwalk will go about 400 feet to the south. And then that'll stop, and then we'll have pavement, which runs and curves up towards toward the Flat River. So you've got the Grand River running there. So this is nice. It still allows animals and waterfowl and hunting and that to transverse the paved part, but it's still, the raised boardwalk made the DNR happy. Yes, Barry.
Just so that the purple or whatever, where it says bridge, that's not the big bridge that's going over the Grand, just to make sure that's going over what's called Lee Creek. That's just so everybody's not confused.
Yeah, thank you, Perry. So the large existing bridge is to the left, and that's actually the most expensive part of this project is that purple bridge. I'm not quite sure why, but that's a big chunk of money there. But this is really good news. Many people have been working on this for years. I'm late to the party, but we're looking forward to a July start, so that'll be nice there. And then the historic board, also good news. Brent Slagle, this is for the Larkins remodeling. Brent Slagle has just received approval, a grant from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation to move ahead with remodeling that building. The grant is we're up to $429,000. So that's great. I don't know what it's up to. I don't know the details there. The project itself is at least a couple $1 million, but that will be very nice to completely redo that building. And he is also planning a July start on that. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Brent Slagle, July start. This is fall. The trail is a fall start, this fall. And so that's it.
Good. Jim? Pete?
I've got nothing.
Mark?
Mine's next week.
Are we meeting next week? Corey? I have a fire authority meeting next week.
Good thing your boss told you.
Yeah. Council comments.
Oh, mine's next week.
Let's start with Jared.
All right.
Thank you.
I just want to say congratulations to the bride. I was unfortunately unable to make it this weekend, which was a bit bummer for me. And to speak to what Perry mentioned earlier, I think the gist of people being narrow-minded is, I think people take their life's experiences and then they just move forward with them. And sometimes you're willing to learn from your experiences and be curious about your experiences, and some people are not. And unfortunately, they are not. And fortunately, they're a pretty small crew. So I think that Lowell Pride handled them with a lot of dignity and grace this year. I am sure that it is exhausting to have to deal with that and to wonder about the people you're inviting and hoping feel safe here, and if they're feeling safe and secure, and putting trust in the security and police officers and yourselves to keep people safe. That is a heavy weight to bear, and I just want to say thank you for doing that for our community. That's it.
Congratulations on a well-attended event. I've done some pretty big ones here, and I know what it's like to do such things. It was, you could tell it was a lot more people this year than in previous years. And the music that was going on out the back door of my building, we could hear, and it was fun. We had customers coming in and that went down. They had no idea that you were even down there, and went down and thoroughly enjoyed themselves and came back in, and were happy and felt safe. That, I guess that's the biggest thing. So good job, congratulations, and thank you for working with us as a city to